Good afternoon, 6th grade. It is Tuesday, April 28th. We're back in our history and geography class. We're going to be starting chapter 17 today. Guys, we are almost done with this book. We have almost come all the way through North and South America. We originally started in Canada, worked our way down. Now we're going to be in South America. Today's reading is going to be from page 311 to 315. We're going to be doing Comp Check 17A questions 1 through 3 today. Let's begin. Exploring South America. Before we begin, let's read this little box here on the left. Some little facts about South America. Mount Aconcagua in Argentina is the highest peak in South America, as well as the entire Western Hemisphere. South America's many waterfalls include the world's highest, Angel Falls, with a 3,212-foot drop. Peru and Bolivia share the world's highest body of water, Lake Titicaca. The Amazon River is second only to the Nile River in length. However, it has the world's largest drainage basin, 202,400,000 square miles. Cape Horn is the southernmost point in the Americas. Cusco is probably the most famous city in Peru. It was the capital city of the Incas and is home of Machu Picchu. One of the driest places in the world is the Atacama Desert. The anaconda is the world's largest snake. The largest ever measured was 28 feet long, 44 inches around, and was estimated to have weighed about 500 pounds. So let's look at the climate and geography today of South America. South America, the fourth largest continent, is about twice the size of the United States. The equator passes through a wide region in the northern area of South America, and most of the continent lies between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn in the torrid zone. Thus, the lowland regions of much of South America have year-round tropical temperatures. The southern tip of South America, however, is just 600 miles from Antarctica and consequently has a very cold climate. Because South America is located mainly south of the equator, its seasons are opposite those of the United States and Canada. Summer is from December to March, and winter is from June to September. So when it's hot here, it's cooler in South America and vice versa. Many nations and varied geography. Look at the map of South America on page 313 with me. In the north, South America is bordered by the Caribbean Sea and Panama. On the east by the Atlantic Ocean, and on the west by the Pacific Ocean. The continent is divided into 12 independent nations, which we will study further. Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, Suriname, Paraguay, Peru, Uruguay, and Venezuela. And one overseas department of France, French Guiana. The countries vary in size from Brazil, which is as big as the continental United States, to French Guiana, which is about the size of Indiana. Each country of South America will be studied in depth in Chapter 18. Like North America, South America has high mountains in the west, lower mountains in the east, and a great plains in the middle. Find the Andes Mountains, the Brazilian highlands, and the Guiana highlands on the map. South of the Guiana highlands, you will see the mighty Amazon River and the great lowland area that is waters. Find two other lowland areas, the Gran Chacao in Argentina and Paraguay, and the Pampas in Argentina. Can you find the Atacama Desert along the coast of Chile? The Atacama Desert is the driest place on Earth, rarely receiving a single drop of rain. The Andes mountain range is the longest and second highest mountain range in the world. The Andes extends from Cape Horn north for more than 5,500 miles to the Caribbean coast. If the Andes were stretched out in a straight line instead of being curved, they could reach from San Francisco across the United States to London. The range is 500 miles across at its widest point, and it has at least 50 peaks over 20,000 feet high. Only the Himalaya mountains of northern India and Tibet are higher. Mount Aconcagua in Argentina is the highest mountain in the Western Hemisphere. Try to find it on the map if you will. How high is it? Weather conditions vary drastically in the Andes. Tropical temperatures and year-round snow lies within a few miles of each other because of the great altitude changes. Precipitation or rainfall also varies widely. The Andes mountain range is not a single line of peaks, but a collection of mountain ranges with intervening plateaus and depressions. The western range near the coast is the site of devastating volcanoes and earthquakes. Between the eastern and western ranges of Peru and Bolivia lies the famous Altiplano, a wide plateau that is about 12,000 feet above sea level. Hundreds of islands surround South America, especially the southern part of it. At the tip of South America lies the archipelago Tierra del Fuego. The largest island in the group is separated from the mainland of South America by the Straits of Magellan. The Falkland Islands and South Georgia Islands lie in the Atlantic Ocean. Much farther north, the Galapagos Islands and Easter Island are in the Pacific Ocean. And South America also has, with its varied climate and geography, very varied animal life. South America provides a home for almost 1/4 or 25% of all known kinds of animals. Although many animals live there, South America does not have any huge animals. Let's talk about mammals first. The tapir, a hog-like mammal which does not grow much bigger than a pony, is the largest South American animal. The tapir's worst enemy is the jaguar, the largest cat in the Western Hemisphere. The capybara, the largest rodent in the world, pictured on page 313, is a 4 feet long animal and weighs 100 pounds. With light fur that encircles its eyes like glasses, the spectacled bear, actually I'm sorry, that is not a capybara, that is a spectacled bear, is the only bear in the world that lives south of the equator. The two-toed sloth lives in trees in the tropical rainforests of South America. The sloth rarely comes down out of its tree because it cannot walk. It hangs upside down from tree branches and moves so slowly that its brownish fur turns green from algae. Because it spends most of its time hanging upside down, the sloth's hair parts down the middle of its underside. The giant anteater, which weighs over 50 pounds, uses its long, sticky tongue to help trap the 30,000 ants and termites it'll eat every day. It also lives in the damp tropical forest. 4 types of camel-like mammals are native to South America. Although all of these are classified as camels, none of them have a hump. Alpacas live in mountain areas of Peru and Bolivia. They have long necks and long, shaggy hair. Farmers raise alpacas for their wool, shearing them once a year and getting as much as 7 pounds of wool per animal. Guanacos are wild animals that live in groups throughout the Andes. Like the other camel-like mammals, guanacos will spit if they are upset at something. Llamas, the largest South American camel, also lives in the Andes. Adult male llamas are used as pack animals or animals that carry cargo and people. Like Middle Eastern camels, they can be very stubborn. If a llama feels that its pack is too heavy or that it has gone far enough, it will sit down and refuse to go anywhere. Vicuñas live in the mountains of Bolivia, Chile, and Peru. These wild animals have excellent sight, speed, and endurance. Vicuñas were once hunted to the brink of extinction for their fine wool. Now let's learn about some reptiles and fish. Although not necessarily the longest, the anaconda is by far the largest snake in the world because of how big around it is. The largest anaconda ever measured, as I said before, was 28 feet long, 44 inches around or circumference, and it weighed about 500 pounds. Galapagos giant tortoises of the Galapagos Islands are among the world's oldest living creatures. They can live over 100 years, and they weigh over 300 pounds each, and some can even weigh up to 500. Piranha, small bloodthirsty fish of the Amazon, eat the flesh of animals. They usually attack small animals or ones that are wounded or dying, although they have been known to bite off the fingers of careless fishermen. People of the Amazon routinely bathe or swim in piranha-infested water, but they must be careful, especially if they have bleeding wounds that might attract these fish with the razor-sharp teeth. And there have been a few recorded incidents where boats have sank in South America where the people were eaten by piranhas, so do be wary of the water if you go to South America. Let's learn about some birds. The Andean condor, the largest flying land bird in the Western Hemisphere, is an average of about 4 feet long with a 10-foot wingspan. The cock of the rock is a handsome bird, pictured here, with bright orange or red feathers and dark wings and tail that live in the rainforest of the Andes from Peru to northern Brazil. The beautifully colored macaw also lives in tropical rainforest. Its feathers are blue, red, yellow, and green. Now let's learn about some natural resources in South America. If you were to ask a South American what his continent's most valuable natural resource is, he would probably answer soil. The rich black soil of the Pampas area is some of the best in the world. Many South Americans are farmers. Some tend to own their own small farms, while others work on large plantations owned by wealthier families. Farmers raise wheat, barley, and other grains on cultivated areas of the pampas, and graze cattle and sheep on uncultivated grassy areas. Sugarcane and other crops that thrive in the tropical climate along the seacoast also are found here. The volcanic soil of the Andes Mountains is ideal for growing coffee, and that's what makes this soil so rich, is volcano eruptions. Volcanic ash is some of the most fertile soil in the world, and the Pampas area is full of it. Bananas need a hot, moist climate to grow well, and they also thrive in South America. It is the greatest banana producing region in the world, and Brazil is the largest single grower. Bananas are one of the most popular fruits in the world. Petroleum is another important natural resource to South America. Almost all of the countries have some petroleum, but Venezuela produces an enormous amount. Copper, iron, ore, nitrates, tin, and emeralds are also abundant in the Andes Mountains and the Eastern Highlands. The mighty rivers and waterfalls of South America supply hydroelectricity, or electricity made by the movement of water, to much of the continent. This is the most common energy source because coal is scarce and petroleum is very expensive and is often exported to other countries. The Pacific Ocean along the west coast supports a major fishing industry, and so that's where we're going to conclude today's lesson. So make sure you answer these 3 little short questions on Comp Check 17A, and I will see you guys tomorrow.